white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for coming. We have the beautiful guest that you always see on the channel.
Hi, Ndagire's people. Welcome back to her channel.
This is the beautiful 𝗬cie 𝗂𝗿. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be back with the madness. Of
course. You look beautiful.
Buy these earrings, ladies and gentlemen. They are available for shipping from Black Gorilla. I'm their mini influencer recently.
Today's video, this is something that we landed on, and some people were tagging me in it because this black woman was asking why people, why they adopt. Adopt? Yeah, black children.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
Why do white people adopt black children and then say things like, I'm not raising black children, I'm raising children? Oh, are you? So this is UFC fighter Michael Chandler, and this is his wife. They've adopted 2 black children, and he recently did an interview where he stated he's not raising black children. He's raising children.
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man.
And while I understand that he thinks that he means well by creating this piece of, I don't see color, even though you claim that you and your wife don't see color, the world does. This can be problematic because it ignores the racial and cultural identity of the child. By not acknowledging the child's racial background, you're going to inadvertently neglect certain aspects of their identity, which is black. You're gonna neglect what they may go through when they get out in the real world because they will not be treated like you. So when you say that you're not raising black children, you're only raising children, how are you going to explain to them when they get treated different in the schools that you put them in, when they get treated different out in society, when they get treated different in the workplace? How are you going to explain that to them? Is race going to come up then? Even though you're raising them, you want to expose them to their own culture. Do you have any black friends and not just like you?
I got a question. Why are there so many black children that need to be adopted? My second question is, why do you care who adopts them and what color they are as long as they love that child and raise them right? And lastly, I see color. I see color. But when I see a little baby, I don't go, oh, look at that little white baby or look at that little black baby. These are babies. They haven't been filled with ignorance yet. Let them babies be babies and grow up to be good people.
What's your take on this?
Please don't grill me in the comment section, all right?
You're so scared.
I know. My apologies in advance. The reality of the matter is, as an African girl, Ndagire, how many black people can you count that have adopted their fellow black kids?
That's kind of tricky. Yeah. I mean, like, of course, we give our African experiences, and like us coming from Uganda, we grew up with people that are not our parents sometimes. And I would say in the Western world, that's like adoption. You can't just take a child without papers and all those things. And then here in like Uganda, in our culture, you can grow, like we grew up in places where you had like the cousins, the kids of your aunties, your uncles. We grew up in places where we are in one house and probably the kid that is born in that house is like 1 or 2. And the rest of us are just cousins. So I would say that is also adopting. And that is how I would like say we adopt. We are groomed by people that are not our parents. So that is also like kind of adopting without papers.
There's a difference between doing a good will or a good deed towards your next neighbor. You know, yes, what you're talking about, like your cousins or like your neighbors' kids, they can be brought in by your mom. Like for me, I will use your mother as an example. If I don't have where to sleep today and your mom saw I was struggling, definitely, like I know I can't sleep on the streets when your mother's house is there. There's a difference. White people, they be going to the random ass places and streets and orphanage somewhere and then they will adopt that kid that even society sees like, let me give you an example. Here in Africa, we see HIV as disgusting. Even if it's a child who is 3 years old or 4 years old and they have HIV, African society will literally look at that child as a devil, as something so dirty to even be close. Let's be honest, only a white person can have that. Yes,
you're so strong.
I'm very strong on this because I have had experiences. I took this from experience.
But there are also black people that do that. Maybe they don't come on the internet like the white people, but I think they also exist.
The ones that we see on the internet, it's those that are on the internet. Just from Uganda itself, Ndagire, do you think black people have the guts to adopt fellow Ugandan kids than white people do?
Like I said,
absolutely not. Let's not lie.
The adoption I know is the one that I explained.
Yeah.
In the US or in the Western countries, what I understood, you can't just take someone's child.
Yeah.
Even your siblings' kids, you can't just take them and like, I want to take care of you, even if you want to. You have to pass through these procedures that I think I stress.
Yeah.
And I had someone say that it's actually hard to adopt a child in the US or in the Western countries than it is in Africa.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, also it brings in that we are not protected as African people, like we are cheap to that extent that yes, they might want to come and help. Because I mean, I'm very open on this platform. I say that I grew up in places where white people have really helped me in my life. Yeah. Even before I was on the internet, even the people that really supported me to do this because I like to talk about these things were white people in my life. They were really supportive of this. So I would say it's a positive and a negative thing. But then like going to this black lady asking why, I would say also we allow it to happen as African people. It would not be as much of them coming to adopt us if we didn't like also produce recklessly.
Girl.
Yes.
Girl.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm just being mean, but I think we enjoy having that deed and have kids because of, for example, people say legacy, which I don't know. People say to keep my name. And I'm like, you're having these children that are actually suffering, and not to excuse that some children literally are orphans without parents, without anybody. I can excuse that.
Yes.
But I would say most of the times it's the kids that have people that abandon them.
Yeah.
But then we also don't put in the initiative of fighting for them. So when these people come, they feel the need because they also have a picture of a black child, an African child has to be saved, needs to be saved. So when they come, it's also easier for them to get access to our children.
When you say that we don't have organizations in Uganda, let's say in Africa, that even care about an African child not being taken away by the white person, girl, how is a black person going to care? Like, guys, let's be...
You're being mean.
No, it's the reality. I'm sorry, black people, but sometimes we have to call it an axe when it's an axe and not sugarcoat. The reality of the matter is we are living in society as African people where we have useless intercourse. People that have useless intercourse in Africa. Tell me, when are they going to get some knowledge of... If African people, we cannot even say, you know what, I'm actually broke. I cannot even afford a 3-day meal myself. But African people, they have time to think of having sex every 2 minutes. So they can give birth to kids, not even caring what this child is going to eat, where this child is going to go to school to.
Legacy we need to keep up.
And it's useless legacy. If we ourselves as African people, we don't have that common sense of saying, how about we hold ourselves accountable the way we give birth, caring about... African people really don't care. They bring you out on the planet, and then, anyway, for them, they had their 5 nice minutes of a moment. They can throw you at the streets. So people that have the audacity to do that, when are they going to get some knowledge of let's do an organization to protect our African kids? They will never. And the white man, yes, a white man will always feel like they are entitled to come and save you. Can your black people save you? If they can give birth to you and throw you in an orphanage or throw you... Guys, in Africa, women like my age, they give birth to kids if they did not have the guts to remove the child. Don't we find kids...
I think it's in every society.
In Africa, it's different.
I think people do that. You
in
can't just
Africa,
put it
it's different. In Africa, we must acknowledge it. African people, we do these things. And you know, we pretend we are holy. We are not. In African society, we give birth recklessly because we believe every child comes with a blessing, which I will not dispute. But we use that as a weird excuse to give birth recklessly because it's like, society will take care of the child. Even if she's a street child, at least she will beg somewhere and someone will buy her bread. That's number one, which makes us have so many kids that are there to be saved. At least if we don't have organizations.
Yeah, let the law work.
Let the law work. Guys, I'm even very emotional on this one.
Yeah.
If the police even does anything nice too, they will just throw the child to some orphanage somewhere. And I will tell you, 99.99% the orphanage is created by a white person, which means black people don't even care of opening an orphanage where some orphans will come.
But I see them. Actually, you're making me remember when we were still in school, guys. I was actually going to do this myself.
Oh my God, you wanted to be a savior?
No, not a savior. I wanted to be an orphan so I could be adopted by white people. A quick background.
Yeah.
So I went to, because I was smart in school, guys.
Indeed.
I'm not dumb. And then I went to a government school.
Yeah.
Because they gave me a scholarship. The group of white people came and they were giving scholarships to only orphans that didn't have parents. Like, okay, you could be smart and you still have a parent. They would be like, you're okay, you're not that bad.
Yeah.
And then they were telling us to register our names. If you are an orphan, come in front, register your name. And I was sitting there like thinking, but if I do this, I get an opportunity to be taken care of. Because I would see these kids that were, adopted. Okay, not really adopted, but the ones that were like taken care of by these people.
Yeah.
They had literally everything in school. They had the best things in school. They were always like looking so good. Like they looked like they were in heaven for me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I could do this. So I grabbed a paper. No dad, minors. If you want to ask why for the dad, it was easy because I never had my dad in my life. So I knew he was there and we are okay, we are cool, but he was never that much in my life. So for him, it was very easy for me to say minors or whatever. Then I had to declare my mom is not what? There. That's when I failed and I was like, no, I cannot do this to my mom. And then I stopped, so I let it go. But if I did it, guys, I would not be in Uganda this time. So I would say it's tempting.
Yes.
That we also fake it because we want it to happen. And I think it also gets in our psyche that this kid will go in an orphanage, they'll still take care of this child. And then you saw the white guy, what he was saying, that me when I'm adopting a child, when we do that, we come from a place of love. Yeah. Okay. And you can't really read people's hearts or what their purpose is towards somebody. Yeah. So I only have an issue when people use African kids to get probably sponsorships. Even it also happens in my country, Uganda, where I see people that anytime you're broke and you want to make easy, fast money, just start up a charity organization and, go to a place somewhere in Uganda, whatsoever, get the kids and start up an organization. People send you money. So that's where I have an issue that people use our children, African children, whether white, black or whatsoever, to make money off of them. Yeah. And I would say also some white people do that. Like I previously talked about that on this platform. There was a white lady, actually a white student from high school or college, that came, set up a hospital, and almost 100-something kids lost lives because she was pretending to be a doctor. And she got away with it. So it's because we don't have laws really that help protect our children.
So this is very close to my heart because there's a time in South Africa where I felt like, most especially around COVID-19, I felt like I needed something to fill in my life. I decided to go and volunteer at a children's home in South Africa. It's called TLC Children's Home. And the reason I went to do that, number one, it was because some white kids in South Africa, somewhere in Cape Town, they decided they wanted to do some good deeds towards the orphans. I decided to join. I was the only black person there.
Really?
Everyone else was colored like Tyler or white.
Really?
Yes.
Was it because they were not allowed?
No, of course. If black people were not allowed, I wouldn't have been there. But I felt, and that orphanage was started by white people. And
maybe they didn't want to associate with it because it's with white people. It's possible.
Then that means it's a problem of a black person not wanting to help an African child, a fellow black child. Me, I was black. Why did I go?
So how many of the kids, like the most of the kids, were they black or also colored and different?
The kids in the orphanage?
Yeah, most.
Every child was black, of course. Every orphanage child, every child who is an orphan that I've seen, they are black. And who gives birth to those kids?
You.
And who does not want to come to the orphanage to volunteer my time towards the black kids that look like me? You. Exactly. Wait, so I tell you, even if a white man is gonna use this orphanage thing to source money out of, and it's a business, please do it. Because you know what? At least you're doing something. Black people that I know in Uganda here that are looking for money from white people, and they do that, extorting money from white people from the internet in the name of orphanages, do they even care about those kids? I'll be honest with you.
And
out of 10 orphanages that belong to black people, I can only believe one is legit, because I know fellow black people are selling black people faces. The UN organization,
They learned from their master.
Black people, they do that, looking for money from who? White people. So when a white person does it, actually, and it's for the sake of extorting money from more rich white people, at least they do something for the black kids.
No, but I don't support it.
Even the bare minimum black
don't
people
support it.
get from the offer.
We don't support it.
What I support is white people keep on adopting those black kids, because you know what? You're at least doing something for goodwill. I appreciate black people that adopt kids. I was adopted by a black person. But until us black women, until us black people, African people, we stop giving birth uselessly, white people, they will always come to Africa and feel like they have the right to save us. My last words, guys. I remember when I was 18, 17, I think I had just come back from Kenya for the first time. You know, as black people, African people that are in Christ, born again Christians, we pretend to be the holiest than thou. I got sick, Piper. Guys, I got sick. Yeah, I got sick to an extent where I was laid at the back room of the church that I couldn't even walk, I couldn't move, when I had scars all over my body. Let me tell you, the fellow people that I was singing, hallelujah, they were passing by me. No one cared. Oh, Esther, I wonder, maybe her family, what were they bewitched her? Oh, yeah. We had some missionaries that had come to that church, majority of the times, white people. They came. Someone, I think she was a student nurse or a student doctor whatsoever.
Yeah.
That girl went to Mulago Hospital. I don't even know how she knew, because they had just come into the country for like 2 days. Looked for medication, came, injected me. And then, because my body was almost like rotting from the scars I have on my body, where even the pastor was passing by me, bruh, the best they did for me was to give me where to sleep. But even helping me, the pastor's car to take me to hospital, they couldn't.
Yeah.
That white girl asked her uncle or father, whatever, she wrapped me with her clothes, called a boda, took me to Mulago Hospital, and they treated me.
Yeah.
And you want to tell me a black person is complaining about a white person? Please, come on, African people. Let's not pretend. A few black people can do that for an African child. If you do not have the common sense as a black person to say, let me hold my legs so I don't bring kids to suffer. That's the bare minimum you can do if you want to see white people stop being saviors towards us.
But you can stop and then go text you and their orphans.
Guys, thank you for watching. This video is off.
Guys, that was it for us in the video. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about this. I mean, it's a serious one, but we couldn't be serious because we have different experience. I have different experience on that. And of course, other people have like different experiences.
See you guys. If you like this video, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Of course. And of course, you're African people. I'm ready for you in the comment section. I'm going to be there judging you. But my name is 𝗙𝗶𝘀𝗃. My link is my YouTube link is going to be in the description box. But of course, you can search Esther 𝗙𝗃𝗃. You will find me.
Yeah, that is it for us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in next video.
Bye. You adopted me.
I adopted you.